Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Dopa review. I thought it was about time I did another review of Dopa and his gameplay. After hitting rank 1 on the Super Chinese server, he's pretty much just been playing on a smurf. He's been playing a lot of champions, but still most played, no surprise, is Twisted Fate. So today's gameplay is going to be one of his Twisted Fate gameplays. It's actually a translated video as well, so I'm going to be, I guess, just helping you guys. I'm going to be saying the translation to you guys. It's actually taken from his official YouTube, official Dopa. He's given me permission to repost his videos with a commentary over the top. But if you're looking for just like strict gameplay, definitely, I'm going to put a link in the description of his YouTube, so go and check that out. I guess I've just been looking to do a Dopa review. I wanted a really good game, a really solid game where I could talk about a lot of the matchups and a lot of things he was doing. Also, guys, if this video receives actually 5,000 likes within the next week, I'll post another one this time next week, exactly the same time. Probably of like maybe a Talon or something else. So drop a like, and if you want, put a comment down below of maybe what type of champion you want to see, I guess, me do next. He's been playing a lot of TF. This is his Chinese profile. Zoe every now and then. He's been playing Vladimir. He's actually played a couple of games of Oriana. What else? He's been playing Malzahar, Talon, a bit of everything, guys. So just let me know down below. Also put a link to his Chinese, I guess, OpGG. They use a different website over there, and it's kind of hard to see. You can see what champions he's been playing, but you can't really go into much details about runes and stuff. But I'll put another link for that also down below. So without further ado, let's get straight into the gameplay. Alright, so getting into the game now, guys, I just want to quickly talk about the runes in the matchup. Firstly, for the runes, he's gone Comet, and also for the Inspiration Tree to get the Minion Demon and 5% CDR. This rune page is pretty standard for Apto. He chops and changes that rune page a little bit every now and then into the specific matchups, like... Oh, they might be able to... Jace burns Flash early. Oh, shit. Okay, Vayne gets the kill. Also, the Flash is super important there because of... The Jace actually has Ignite and not Cleanse, so with no Flash now, I mean, if Apto wants to, he can work with his jungler in the 2v2 and just look to collapse him on him early. Level 3 kill, probably. But yeah, as I was saying with this rune setup, he changes to Grasp into matchups such as Irelia, Kassadin, sometimes into things like Fizz, like things that are really aggressive early, and you need to survive it. You need to survive the burst, so you're kind of just looking to be like a stun bot within the game, to be honest. That's what you're really looking for. But this matchup, he's gone Boots 4 pot start. It's pretty common into matchups where it's really dependent on you dodging out abilities. So things like Ahri, things like Syndra, he always goes for that Boots 4 pot start. And then the other starting items is going to be Doran's, pretty much into anything that's going to be really trade heavy. So early on, he's just looking for a shove in right now. He knows the jungler started bot side. The Aatrox didn't leash at all and went for the 1v1. 2-minute 1v1 on the Aatrox. This is pre-reworked Aatrox because this game's from about a week ago, and China also doesn't get the patches as early as any other region. Shoves the first 2 waves, gets a ward out. Knows if there's going to be any type of like gank pressure, it's going to be coming from top side within the next couple of probably next 30 seconds or so. Also, this Boots 4 pots is it's not only just about dodging like the Jace Q poke, it's also about how he can move in the lane, because when Jace wants to trade on you, he wants to collapse. He wants to really the gap close the spacing so he can get a Q on you. If you have like alpha movement speed, more movement speed than your opponent, as soon as he sees the Jace moving in, he'll just start carting back, move back, get a card off, move in and out. So even though like in a strict 1v1 scenario, the Jace has a lot more damage, if Apto plays it right and uses his spacing correctly, he can just get a card, move in, move out, poke, move in, move out, poke. And you just want to like whittle him away and whittle him down until you can get a gank from your jungler. So right now he's just playing towards his Eve. Shoving, getting some tower damage. It's not really... The tower damage is good, but you're more so just looking to bring pressure into lane. Maybe the Eve's going to get a counter gank. Enemy jungler is a Mundo, of course, so... You have a lot of movement speed, so if the Mundo comes to your lane, it's simply just walk out. You can simply walk out. Apto uses a blue card, which is... I think that was a mistake by Apto there. If he had held his gold card and just flashed, it would have been a kill. Even if he didn't flash and the Eve went in, it would have been a kill, because Jace has no cleanse and no flash. But he's just going to hold the pressure here, keep shoving in, looking for some poke off. He's under no threat because the jungler's a Mundo. You can't, if you're playing it something like a Camille right here or a Xin, it's pretty hard to play this aggressive, but if you're into a Mundo, guys, you can pretty much play however you want. The same thing applies to things like Shyvana as well. They really struggled to get onto you. This Irelia is actually inting her lane, so it's going to be interesting to see how he can get her back into the game. Goes for the kill pressure there, gets it. Under tower's nice. It's kind of unfortunate. He says there he was trying to get lucky. He didn't think the jungler was there because of the way Jace was positioning. He's saying that kind of like the Jace was playing so far back that he felt like the jungler wasn't there, because if he's playing forward, the jungler was probably there and he's trying to bait it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there, it's not too bad of a trade. He's got a 15 CS lead or so, and he gets the back for Catalyst, as opposed to whatever Jace is going to get, probably like a longsword and a control, something like that. It's actually really good. Come back to lane, still has no vision. The Jace's flash is going to be coming up in the next 30 seconds or so. If you can cop a freeze with this wave, it's going to be really good. But also he's coming onto level 6, so as always guys, once you hit level 6, it's kind of good to stack a big wave, and as you shove it, your enemy like Jace will be under tower, right? And then you can look for an ultimate onto one of the side lanes. The only problem is, it's so hard to gank top lane because Aatrox is so far ahead, right? So the only really option is bot lane, unless you want to take a risky 2v2 in the top side, or maybe if the Eve wants to come as well. That's a pretty good wave here. He gets shoved in, but as you can see, like, the wave's still going to be on his side, so if the Eve wants to come within the next 30 seconds or so, she probably could. But as I was saying, he's looking for the hard shove now. You can see with the Q back, on the Q on the backline minions. See right there? That's a common, it's a common strategy in the mid lane. You can tuck in behind that little pillar there, and as the enemy laner clears, he'll come back up to the wave, and you can, a lot of the times, land a lot of poke there. If you're LeBlanc, if you're Ari, even TF with a gold card, you can easily get it. It's complaining right now about FPS drops, lagging with abilities. I get that actually all the time. I feel like the game's not too optimized. Ooh. Has to dodge. That is so lucky there. If the Eve died to the Jace, it would have, like, everything in his laning phase would have been for nothing. But he has ultimate now. I really want to see how he uses it. Like, top side would be great, but Aatrox is always such an annoying lane to gank. Has no flash, but like I was saying, this movement speed should be able to get him out. Because you just run out of a Mundo gank. You've got to make sure you dodge on the cleavers, like... And with Mundo, it's like you've got to dodge the first cleaver, otherwise you're in trouble. Because if he lands one cleaver, and then you're like, you're pretty much either forced to flash, and then you die. Or you flash, and he flashes, and you die as well. Because he just has so many follow-up cleavers. He's saying here, like, because look at the wave. Look how massive the wave is. The trade's not that great. God, see what I mean? Like, this type of trade is so hard to do because, I mean, Aatrox has inbuilt GA, so there's so much, like, he's got double health bar. They end up getting it, but... He's saying there that Eve might die. It's so difficult to get that Aurelia back into the game. He's saying there, like, it's not really... That trade there is not optimal. Because they most likely took his blue, and they committed so many resources towards the top side. He gets his roller though, which is really nice. An 8-minute roller is so nice. He's just saying that there's literally just so much resources top that they used. And it's really bad for the Aurelia. Like, he pretty much just said, like, Aurelia... This lane's over. He does have a pretty big lead on the Jace though. But as always, like, if the Jace gets the engage, he's gonna have a lot of damage. It doesn't really matter how, like, until you hit 2 items or so on TF, it's actually pretty hard to get a strict 1v1 in the Jace. Just getting some lane control here. Get a little bit of mana back on the camp. It's so annoying with that reset. Holy fuck, Jason engages.
오, 야, 미친놈이세요?
As I was saying before, like that's how much damage the Jace is in the strict 1v1. He's saying there, like, are you actually crazy, dude? Because
풀타임 되는데?
the Jace literally flashes over the wall. If the Eve, I guess the Eve died, but like, that's so risky for the Jace. Holy fuck.
아니 이거 타워 깨지겠는데?
Said there he has to give the wave.
오 아주 이래라. 텔 타 그냥. 아니 이건 밀고 타지? 타지마 타지마. 탄 총만 하지.
He's saying there that Aurelia should have just baited out the TP and not committed and shoved his lane. It's always like, one thing that Apto does a lot is like, if he teleports top or like ults top, he'll just clear the wave and he'll swap with his top laner or whatever laner it is for the next 30 seconds or so, just because it's really bad to, if you commit to a lane and then you have to swap back, that takes time. It's better to shove in and then look for the swap when it's like at a better stage of the game, or it's just more efficient. What's that mid top side? The Jace has no flash now, and he's actually gotten a lot of, he's like, the Roa's stacking, he's got a lot of AP, so him and the Eve can do work. Ultimate's up. There's unfortunate timing of the Vayne DC. 6-3, the map's pretty open. Like, this game looks pretty difficult for him to win. I feel like the way he's gonna do it is just making picks on the Jace because of the no cleanse. And then hopefully the Aurelia, like, Aurelia is Aurelia. It's a strong champion if he can just hold. In saying that, Aatrox was like absolutely broken before rework.
그지 같군.
Looking top side. I don't know.
안 된다.
Yeah, he says no way.
이블린 가면 그때 가야겠다.
One thing when you're playing Twisted Fate is that I see a lot of, like, when I see low elo players play the champion, they always commit their ult to, like, they'll just, like, even if it's looking like a horrendous fight, they'll ult in anyway. And a lot of times they'll ult in and die, which is honestly, like, pretty much the worst thing you can possibly do. Because not only you waste your cooldown, which holds the map, but you also die and just lose your pressure in your lane. Because if everyone's committing on one side of the map, a lot of the times you can just sit mid and shove, and you'll have your ultimate for the next fight. TF ult, I've always said this, it holds the map like glue. It literally holds the map like glue because everyone's scared to fight. Just because of, like, if you ult in, you're gonna clean out.
얘 이거.
Jace is so he's gonna keep on trying to pressure this in. Ultimate's up in a minute and a half.
먹고 있나 보네.
You want to pressure the lane in here, but it's kind of risky. The Mundo's mid bot side. Jace's Blitzcrank is missing off the map as well, so needs to be semi-cautious. Literally all of his outer lanes are dying. He's pressuring in mid though. It's going to be interesting. I want to see when he goes into a side lane, into a 1-3-1, because it's probably going to be a lot later than usual because, like, the laning phases are probably going to extend for a little bit now. The gank on Aatrox. I don't know if they can do that. Oh no, he's literally backing in the worst possible spot. See here? See how Aurelia was pathing top and he pings for her to go mid? It's very important here that you shove the top side lane And like he'll probably, depending on what he wants to do, like he could shove another wave and Irelia could shove another wave and then they could swap back just at a more efficient time. But it's really important there that you don't just run you don't run mid and Irelia doesn't run top because you're just wasting time and you can be denying a lot of minions. He's honestly so lucky that their jungler's a Mundo. If their jungler was like a Nocturne, Camille, or something that has hard engage, it's very, very hard to play like the way he does in these side lanes because a lot of times you just instantly get picked off. You make a good play, then you get picked off in a side lane, and you can't really, you gotta waste your ult a lot just to check for vision. Gets the Lich Bane. Working on 10 CS per minute is pretty close. The Jace is 120 CS. He's a small lead, but the Jace is a Duskblade, and he's just gonna continuously be looking for 1v1s. Has ultimate again.
떼거지로 이동하네.
You know somebody's there because they warded. Literally just sitting mid very cautiously. The worst possible thing you can do here, guys. I said, like, you'll just like a lot of people that was hard commit for a fight, even though your team is behind, and the enemy team will get a rift and they end the game. You gotta be really cautious. Gets the Aatrox. I don't know if you can get the Mundo. He's saying they're collapsing too quick. See, like the Vayne right now is just happily splitting in a side lane, getting back into the game. A 200 power spike so massive. Said if he had an auto there, he would have got him. The Jace, the Lich Bane. But as I was saying, like, the Vayne right now just wants to farm 2-3 items. And as he hits the 2-3 items, he's going to do a lot in team fights, especially to Mundo. But if the Vayne never gets ahead in this game, it's going to be super hard. Or even like, not even ahead, but just even. It's going to be super hard for him to come into the game. Because as TF, a lot of people say like TF is very hard to carry with. They're like, oh, I don't have enough damage. But like you have damage, but you are very team reliant. You need somebody in your team to be doing damage. He says here he's gonna bash the shit out of the tower. That's good flank. Ezreal dies. Pops him. Vayne gets the kill. Vayne gets 2 kills. That's super important for him. He had tabs on the Jace the entire time, so he could sit mid, get priority, get a CS lead. And he always had the flank onto the team fight. Jace is actually fucking... That 1v1 damage is so disgusting. Alright, you'll probably see him drop into a side lane soon. This is about the moment when you're looking to get in the side lane. You've got 3 items. The map's really open. And you can finally start splitting, getting pressure, and then looking to ult across. He says he wants to clear bot before he bases. Next item's going to be an Hourglass. Going to be looking for that Hourglass so that he can ult into team fights, get the gold card, and then just lock himself up. Right now, it's super important, guys, to drop into the side lanes and start getting farm. You can't just start sitting on your team members. Like, you can't just go down mid and follow the Vayne and share all the farm. You need to be getting your own farm. Gets Tabai, of course. He says there that the Dark Seal, he's got 8 stacks. If that hits 10 stacks, he's gonna upgrade it. One thing I've been noticing with a lot of Apto's TF games right now is that he upgrades to Soulstealer so often. He'll hit that 10 stacks and upgrade. Like, Apto doesn't make many mistakes. He doesn't die very often, so a lot of times he's stacking that out. And because they actually buffed it where if you have 10 stacks and you upgrade, you automatically get the movement speed. And of course, like, movement speed on TF is so essential, so you can get You can gap close for your gold cards. So right now the game's literally perfect for a side lane setup. The only problem is that he has no vision on the jungle, so he's got to be really cautious here. He ults there because he has no idea where the enemy team is, and he needs to be able to shove in and get some priority in. His strict 1v1 with the Jace, he wins now. He's got 2.5 items, got tab eye, stopwatch now. Easily beat out the Jace in a strict 1v1, so he wants to pressure that in, get vision out, and then just drop back and shove the wave. It's kind of annoying there. If you have like pride in that side lane and your team follows, it's super annoying because like if you bring 3-4 bot but you're able to disengage, it's so nice for you because the enemy, like your team can shove in mid. Maybe you can get priority on the other side of the map near Baron vision. He says there he doesn't have time to do blue. Vayne is so good into Mundo.
이러면 블루 먹을 시간도 생겼다.
That's time to grab the blue buff now. Ultimate's coming up in 50 seconds. Baron's also spawned. As Twisted Fate, you want to be splitting opposite side to the major objective, so like Baron, so that if you can get 2 or 3 to commit to you bot, and then you can ult out, or even ult across to the Baron, usually it's a free objective. It's kind of hard to split opposite side. Like if you're playing Zed, right? I mean, you can't really be splitting bot because you don't have the global to get across. He's saying here, you got to be cautious if they go for the rush. Infernal's up though, so if they get that and they get off the Baron, which they do, it's so, like, there's so much value in that. Ult up in 10 seconds. He's got a pretty big buy now if he wants to. Honestly, if they just keep 1-3-1ing and then looking for the ultimate across for picks, they'll probably end up winning. He's around about 11 CS per minute, so he's got a massive gold lead over the Jace. Probably a couple K, to be honest. Heads down mid here just in case, and then you want to path to the bot side.
상황이 좋네, 상황이. 사이드 한 번 더 흔들면 상대 이거 나오겠는데 무조건.
He's saying here that if they can get one more lane, if they can just like shake up another lane, like a side lane, they're probably going to win the game and the team could FF. He knows he is in really good, like he has the map, he's holding the map really well, and it's just so easy for him to be able to play this game out on Twisted Fate. He's been in this situation like hundreds of times. It's so hard for the enemy team to commit because he stomps this Jace, right? So what do? Do you send like 2-3 members down to try and collapse on the TF and maybe he still escapes? Do you commit for the Baron and then take a lot of poke and then he flanks or even gets like bot lane inhib? His team is actually, the Eve is actually trolling, that's not good. Oh god, it's so annoying to have like the perfect situation or win condition set up and your team just fucking ints it. But he'll just keep splitting in here. They'll probably look for a Baron now that the jungler's down. I honestly think, I don't know how they're going to be able to contest it. Nice. Ooh, no. They should have waited, man. If they waited another 10-15 seconds, or like just until the Baron there is chunked them out a little bit more, to be more beneficial. They don't actually get the Baron though, so it's honestly fine. Even though they died, Apto doesn't die. Holy fuck. Oh my days. He knows that spacing so well, man. I would never have assumed I could get that close. Picking that Jace off's really important now because it's gonna... They have 35 seconds to kind of readjust. Get vision control over the Baron again. Wants to steal a red buff. Questionable decision. Ah, if that was a gold, he's dead. He said they picked too quick. Did a Reggie. Seems risky, man. His team's collapsing in the Vayne now. Does Vayne have ult? Vayne almost has ult. Has ult now. Wait, what? Where'd the Aatrox... Wait, where'd the Aatrox come from? That sucks. If the Vayne didn't die there, they were in such a good position to win. They would have got like the Baron and probably just slowly closed out. Has ult coming up again, guys, so he can just continuously shove in. Shove, shove, shove. Bot lane tower, move across with ultimate. Look for the Eve to set up a flank. This Aatrox actually has an infinity edge. We'll see what he does. Like, he has such a good position bot. He's sitting on 3k though, so you probably want to get a base off soon. Always be cautious in this side lane, guys. Like, Apto's side lane's a lot, but he has a lot of information, okay? When he has no information, he's not going to play a risky side lane. A lot of the time, he'll pop an ult just to make sure the team is where he predicts them to be. Because if you get picked off in a side lane, especially where he's at now, he even has a Soul Stealer now, like, if he gets picked off, the game, your win rate of the game is going to drop significantly. Jace mispositions, has no cleanse either. Just watch how he plays it. Right in the middle, looking for those gold cards. Look where he is now. He's zoning out 2 members while his team finishes Aatrox. Should be a free Baron now. Look how he keeps his screen. Like, look where his screen is, guys. Look at it. He can see both entrances to the Baron pit. He's not like looking at Baron and just like tunneling in on it. He's making sure nobody can get in. It's an ace and a Baron pick. 20 stacks on the Soul Stealer as well. Ult in 20, just gonna shove in. Like, as TF, you just always want to be by yourself in the side lane, getting down the turret damage. Aatrox actually just entered that QSS. Gets the tower. Sell boots for what? I literally can't remember what that item's called, but it's extremely important to sell boot. When you're full build on TF, is it Spellbinder? That's what it's called. It's really good on TF. Like, a lot, like, you'll see Aptos sometimes buy it instead of, like, even 5th item, 5th, 6th item, because when you get 100 stacks, you can just press it and it's pretty much like a poverty ghost, right? You pop it, you get increased movement speed, NAP, you land a gold card, and you're pretty much almost one-shotting any squishy. He's saying here, like, the Magi buy here, like, just snowballed him so hard because in that team fight where he got a lot of kills, it was just so beneficial to him, and he got a lot of AP coming through. That was such a good game, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I was just trying to explain to you guys a couple of little things that I guess he wasn't mentioning in the gameplay. That was a great game. He played it really smart. Hardly any mistakes. Into a matchup, which is like, I kind of struggle with that matchup a lot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Drop a comment if there's any players or any champions that you kind of want me to review next. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.